Okay, everybody, just going to give it another minute and then we will begin. All right, everybody, thank you very much for attending our webinar today to go over some of the changes and updates we've made in our Success Center. My name is Brian Martin. I'm the Director of Customer Success here at BizEquity. Most of you have probably worked with me in some capacity. So I want to thank you very much for taking some time out of the day to check out our updates. Should probably take about 10 or 15 minutes today. We've added a lot of stuff in the last 2 or 3 months, so we're going to go over that with everybody. We'll start the first way we start all our webinars. Just remember, you'll log in at your unique white label. There'll be a login button up here in the top right. So I'm already logged in as myself. So you click your name, and the Success Center is where we're going to be focused today. So our newest addition to the Success Center was just added yesterday, based on customer requests. Sort of what it is an additional advisor presentation. So for a long time, we've had the advisor presentation that's client-facing and is designed specifically for business owners. The one that we created this week was called the advisor presentation. It's colleague-facing. So in this case, this would be used for centers of influence. A lot of our advisors try to partner up with other people. Maybe if you're an insurance agent, you'd like to work with a accountant. Maybe you're a wealth advisor, you're looking to work with attorneys. So what this does is this sort of pitches the idea. It's not really the idea of BizEquity specifically, but why the beginning is why business valuation is so important. Very similar to the business owner-facing PowerPoint, but at the end it does kind of go over what BizEquity does. So we kind of use the term centers of influence. So it's how to present that you're a BizEquity subscriber and why it would be beneficial for some centers of influence you work with. Just like the current PowerPoint, we have your speaker notes down here, so kind of what to say on each slide. Like everything, we try to make it so you can brand it to yourselves at the end, your name, you can put a disclaimer there, your address. So this is something that has been requested by a couple of our users. Just like the other PowerPoint, we also have the client-facing. We have it as a PDF. Also, we have just the speaker notes in printable format. Next thing we'll go to, and you sort of navigate the Success Center over here on the left, we'll go to some of our new marketing slicks. One that we just put up this week as well is called the Biz Quiz. So it is the business owner succession planning quiz. So this is a nice piece, especially in sort of an initial meeting with a business owner client. Can kind of help gauge how ready they are for retirement or succession planning. Tried to keep it a little bit lighthearted with the graphics and everything here. But the nice thing is it kind of gets the conversation started about, do they have a written out of office plan? Do they have succession planning documents in place? And obviously, we think from here the transition is into a business valuation and using BizEquity, to help further your services. But this is sort of one of those things to help that conversation start. The next thing is a new marketing slick, probably added about a month ago. Top 12 reasons for business valuation. This is more for our accounting users, so it answers questions that a lot of times CPA and accountants would ask. Doesn't mean you have to be an accountant to use it. It's just something we created with kind of them in mind. Again, down here at the bottom, we give you the space to brand it to yourself. The Now offering has been in here for about 3 months. In case anyone hasn't seen it, this again was based on feedback from users. Sort of people sign up and they want to announce to the world that they can now run valuations. It's a generic piece by nature. We're now offering business valuations. Just like everything else, have the space down here to brand it to yourselves. So this is great if you want to target current clients you have or sort of get the word out there that you have the ability to value businesses. You would use this piece. Next thing we'll talk about is our preliminary valuation checklist. We created this for a specific user about 6 months ago. They were running a lunch and learn where they're inviting business owners for a free lunch, and the only requirement they wanted a little bit of information on all the attendees. So it's sort of like an abbreviated fact finder. But what this has been used for is sort of help you qualify business owners. So make sure that they're kind of, in the realm where someone you'd want to work with. If you only want to work with businesses over $10 million, obviously you have an event, only one person fills that out, but now you know who you want to spend your time reaching out to. So this is a nice piece for those of you who do run events and do want to collect additional business owner information. Preliminary valuation checklist is found in the client-facing materials. A few more things we'll look at before we jump into our support center. We'll go to the user guide section here, and like always, we have an entire training manual that's about 60 pages long, some success studies. Also have the onboarding process. So if you kind of want a quick refresher, you don't have time to schedule a call with me or my team, these are great. They're YouTube links. You can also download them. We also have a frequently asked questions database. This is great for, maybe it's something that slipped your mind. We most likely put the answer inside of this PDF. But the newest thing in here is going to be the implementation checklist. And this was, my team and I created this specifically because one of the questions we had on onboardings was, I've signed up, I've trained to use it, now what? And this is kind of what we feel here internally, what is the best way to roll this solution out. So in the first month, complete the onboarding process, run a test evaluation, value 2 current clients' businesses in month 2, put your smart link on your website. So, the users who do that, it's very easy for them to do. They just throw their smart link up. And another thing that we've been seeing a lot of success with is some of our users put their smart link inside of their email signature. So it'll just say sort of in the signature, what's your business worth? Click here to find out. Obviously, it's not that difficult to do, but it's anything to help you drive traffic to your BizEquity white label. And the last thing we'll go over, and then I'll ask if there's any questions. You can throw them in the chat, is going to be our support center. So no matter what page you're on in the Success Center, Support Center is always going to be here on the right. And this is probably the least utilized part of BizEquity. We get a lot of the same questions all the time, and we've tried to put the answers out there for everybody. So what this is a keyword searchable questions database. So, asset sale value. Here's a long definition of what that means. But the one change we've made to this, and if you do ask us questions in the future, you may see us link back to this a lot, is we've created about 11 quick videos for our most commonly asked question. So we'll use how do you send a delegate link. So not only do we have the directions right here, but we've embedded this is a 59-second video. We have voiceovers and just so we can help you guys and get your questions answered as quickly as possible. Other parts of the support center, if you haven't been inside of here, we're going to go over, the key performance indicators. But really the best part of the entire support center is that it is a keyword searchable database. So, change your password. How do I reset my password? So here's here's a video on how to do that. We also have our methodology. So just today we were asked sort of how what methodologies does BizEquity use? So I was able to actually just send a link to this page, and it kind of has those answers right there. So that was really what I wanted to go over with everybody today, kind of the new pieces that we've created. One thing that we love is we love the feedback of, what would be useful for our users in the field. Almost everything I showed you today came out of a request. Most of them were made individually, but, if it made sense, we tried to create it for everybody to use. So we are always looking for that feedback, the implementation checklist, the SLIC for the preliminary evaluation checklist. That was something that I never would have thought of, but, people out there running events find this very useful. So if we have any questions, you guys can go ahead and throw that in the chat box. More than happy to answer them. And otherwise, we'll probably get you out of here a little early in the next 3 or 4 minutes. This has also been recorded, so anybody will get their recording emailed directly to them, and we'll also put this up in our Success Center so you can access it at a later date. So we'll go ahead and open it up for questions now. Are we able to use any of the marketing on social media, LinkedIn? Yes. So Brian, you're able to use this wherever you would like. So anything in here is created and open license. So feel free to repurpose this as much as you can. We have a lot of our users that we see put up a LinkedIn status that's like, do you know what your business is worth? Click here, or they'll use our marketing SLIC. So the more we see that out there, the better. So feel free to use anything you find useful. Next question is a basic question, but you are associated with SML or as a separate entity. If you're a Security Mutual Life user, you would actually, to us, you're treated just as users. So if you do have support questions, more likely you're gonna contact us at support@bizequity.com. If it's something that might be internal for them, we'll point in that direction. But definitely start with us if you have questions. Can you run through an example of using some sample figures? So I can't do that today. We did run that webinar last month. So what I'll do, Henry, is I will just send you the clip of that because we do have it inside our Success Center. Is there a suggestion for standard pricing, individual or packages? Great question. So when it comes to pricing, we don't require any of our users to charge for valuations. So we kind of want to leave it up to you since you understand your area and your marketplace the best. Something we do here is, a lot of our users will allow the valuations to be free, but some other pushback on that is some people think it's not as valuable if it's for free. So sort of I think the best way to roll pricing in is if you have initial pricing up front, most people keep it in the $500 to $1,000 range. But just be aware that users can go to our website and run a report for $499. Now that doesn't come with any support. It doesn't come with any explanation. But it is available out there. It's not something we openly market. And then a lot of our users will, if the person runs a valuation, they end up bringing assets under management if they're a wealth advisor. They end up buying insurance. They end up usually rebating the cost of that. But that's really up to you and how your practice is set up. Is there anywhere in the Success Center that highlights newly added material? That is a great question. Sometimes we put some new badges on the outside. That's something that I'll get added this week. So any place that something's new, we'll put a new tag on it for the next month. When I click on the Success Center, it takes me to the Penn Mutual site. So yes, Ed, if you're a Penn Mutual user, you have to use the internal Success or Producer's Place. That's part of the Penn Mutual subscription. Anybody subscribing outside of Penn Mutual has access to this Success Center. A lot of the items are the same, but we're kind of at the mercy of Penn Mutual as to what they'll allow in there. So they have as much as they will allow. Do we have the capability yet to export a list of prospects? We do not. It's based on, and I'll read you the answer right out of our support center about exporting prospects. Reason behind not exporting is it's not something we're actually allowed to do. We don't currently offer the exporting feature. Our data providers don't allow it. We have licenses to present the contact records, but we ourselves only have a limited capability to export the data ourselves. So if we left that up to everybody, someone could go through, export all 34 million, and then we'd have no more. The licensing agreement would be null and void. Is there any way to brand it personally for the marketing and blog post? So the blog posts actually come in just a Word document. So if you brand them to yourself, the best thing to do is you can put your information on there before you post it. But everything else can be pretty easily branded within a PDF editor. So if you have Adobe or PDF Pen, you can put your logo or your contact information right on top of it and export it as a PDF. And looks like we're right at 2:15. So I will, if you have any questions, feel free to email me directly, support@bizequity.com. But thank you very much for logging in today. And we'll talk. Hopefully we'll talk shortly. Thank you. Have a great day.